Today I'll be talking about some of the worst endings that I could remember off the top of my head in fiction. Now, the reason why I made this video is because these aren't here simply because they're horrific or disgusting, but because they just left me saying, what the actual hell did I just watch when I finished them? Before I start, I just want to remind you to like the video, as that really goes a long way to help me grow my channel. Alright, cool. First, let's start with Platinum End. Platinum End is a manga and anime about depressed people who get angels and essentially compete in a death battle. It's kind of like Future Diary, but different. Our main character, Mirai Kakahashi, is a depressed high schooler who gets abused and decides he wants to end it all early. Suddenly, an angel appears and stops his attempt, and she tells him that he has been chosen as one of 13 other candidates to become the new god, since the old god was about to retire. I don't know, I think he wanted to collect his pension or something. He got tired of it. Now, the reason why he was chosen, for some reason, was because apparently a good candidate are the people who are done with life, because maybe they'll get like a greater appreciation for life or something. I don't know, man. It was a really stupid reason. Anyway, some shenanigans happen, and by the end of the series, it's time for the remaining characters to decide who becomes the new god. And for some reason, they pick a candidate who has repeatedly stated that he wants to end everything. This guy just didn't want to keep going, even after he was saved. After they pick him, he literally goes on to do what everyone in the audience would expect him to do. He ends everything. And by wiping himself out, he doesn't just end things for himself. He wipes off all life in existence. Everything and everyone dies. All the effort our characters put in was literally for nothing, because it all ends. I honestly don't know what the author was trying to do. I think he was trying to give like some deep philosophical message about the meaningless of life or something. I don't know, man. What's especially horrible about this ending is that it was so obvious that he wasn't a good candidate based off what he was saying, and yet for some reason they just thought, yeah, let's choose the guy that has been telling us that he doesn't want to do this. After that, we have another ending from School Days. Now, if you've been around the anime community for a while, you know what I'm on about, but for those who don't, I envy you. School Days is an early 2000s romance anime that follows our loser, bum, and annoying main protagonist, Makoto Ito, as he tries to get some action. Like, that's basically the entire plot of the show. Since it's based on a visual novel, there are multiple endings, so I'm going to go with the ending that gave the series its infamous reputation, and that I know the series by. So Makoto is trying to get play, and he's trying to hook up with one girl in particular called Katsura. And on his journey to doing that, he ends up dating and sleeping with a bunch of other girls because, you know, visual novel logic. And eventually he does get with her, he gets with Katsura. But one day, he lets his side piece, Saonji, the other main heroine, into his home. And Saonji tells him that she's pregnant. Makoto doesn't pay child support, obviously, because he doesn't want to support a backshot baby. And he argues for her to get an abortion. They get into a heated argument, and Saonji eventually snaps and just straight up stabs the guy. Then Katsura shows up, sees Makoto's corpse, and then for some reason cuts his head off. She later then lures Saonji into school and kills her for killing Makoto. She then cuts her open to prove that she wasn't pregnant. And that's the end. That's literally the end of the anime. Yeah, honestly, there is a reason why people hate this one. It's just a horrible series. And finally, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, the manga ending. If you're into Yu-Gi-Oh!, you know exactly what I'm on about. Now, this one might surprise you because you wouldn't expect a series about a children's card game to have a what the fuck ending, but honestly, it really does. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 follows our protagonist, Yuya, as he is the fifth in line of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Main protagonist. So Yuya's from the future, and along the way he meets a girl named Yuzu who has a crush on him. I want you to remember that. So Yuya's entire story is that he was sent back in time to defeat the Genesis Omega Dragon, which is the big bad card of the series, and eventually he succeeds. But after doing so, he is sent back to his proper timeline and disappears. So before leaving, Yuzu wants to confess her feelings to Yuya, but eventually she ends up chickening out, and Yuya leaves his most prized card to her so she can remember him by it. Afterwards, Yuzu meets a man called Yusho, who turns out is Yuya's father. And what does she do? She marries the guy and has kids with him. She marries the dad of the guy that she had a crush on, but it gets worse because she ends up having a family with this guy. And remember how I said that he's Yuya's dad? Yeah, she gives birth to Yuya. The woman gives birth to the guy she had a crush on. If anything, this kind of reminds me of that funny plot point from Dragon Ball Z with Future Trunks and Bulma. But honestly, this twist was so wild and left everyone's jaw on the floor because nobody expected this children's card game to have some weird incest plot point. But anyways, remember to like and subscribe for more, and tell me what your most what the fuck ending was in the comments.